My name's Darryl Stanley and I'm managing partner of EightSpace. As a business model, it's quite complex. We're using the project module and the ERP quite extensively. We had the CRM version of Sage. We had a quoting tool that then imported in theory into Sage 50, but it was a daisy chain of IT systems and spreadsheets which every time it went from one to another it dropped off more information and it caused us major problems on our projects. So after a few fairly spectacular mishaps, we said, right, we've got to get an ERP system in and we've got to do it quick. One of the best things we ever did was we employed a consultant to process map our business and write a tender document for an ERP system. Back in 2012, 2013, it wasn't that common to get browser-based ERP systems, but we really wanted a web-based one. We actually had 2 developers on the tender list, but NAPS were far and away the best company. The developers that we had on the tender list, they tend to be very strong on the CRM side, but NAPS were also very strong on the financial and project management side, which was of quite a lot of importance to us. Being a project-based business, the financial side is relatively complex. The other thing that we found when we went out of tender was there's a number of big ERP companies who just refused to look at our projects. It's too small. They didn't even want to start talking unless it was over £300,000 or £400,000 project. Whereas we found NAPS good response, very responsive, and a good set of features at a much lower price point. We actually placed the order and implemented ERP with NAPS in 2013. One thing that we have really found a massive benefit is when we went with NAPS, we were on a very tight timescale. There was 5 months from scoping to a month of testing and the actual final go live. We had a proper contract drawn up with penalty clauses, and NAPS worked pretty hard and they did a good job by those tight deadlines. Like with any new ERP system, there's a lot of staff training. There is potential for gremlins. We had to relook at some of the finance logic, but NAPS were very proactive and helpful on that. There were people on site. There's a guy specifically for training. Then there was another guy on site more doing the technical implementation. We had 2 go lives, I suppose. We had a go live, which was like a test go live, where we started running it in parallel with super users within the company, and then we had the formal go live a month later. And NAPS were very hands-on throughout the whole go live process, on site, holding our hands. They had one guy dedicated to training up staff, and then a more technical project manager working with the super users on the implementation part of it and the data imports and so on. Our business since 2013 has changed dramatically in terms of our market sector and how we buy and manufacture stuff and our project process. And if we'd gone for a rigid ERP system, we would probably have been on our second one by now. Because the NAPS code is flexible and NAPS are very proactive as a company, we're able to tweak the modules and the way some of the processes work to suit our business as our business has grown. The flexibility has kept the software relevant and progressed as the company's progressed. Putting in an ERP system has definitely helped the company. I definitely would recommend NAPS. One thing I think with NAPS is they are very well suited to businesses that evolve and adapt quickly, and perhaps SMEs as opposed to large corporates, which fits in well with our business model.